Honey, I'm home. How was work, sweetie? Just fantastic. I got 2 more raises today. Wowie wow. I'm gonna have to get another cookie jar for all this cash. Indeed. Say, where's my boy at? I remember the days when he'd run up and give me a hug as soon as I got home from work. Oh, he's upstairs, watching some TV. What? No, I mean that he's... Nah, I'm the dad walking up the stairs. No, Dad, it's not what you think. In my house? What is this? Dad, no, not that one. That's my favorite one. No, that one's signed. Dad, it's worse than I thought. Yeah, that happened to me. I was 13 years old. My dad walked in on me watching Fanboy and Chum Chum, and I'd like to talk about it. Because of that interaction, I had entirely wiped Fanboy and Chum Chum. No, that can't be right. Either way, Fan Chum and Boy Boy had been completely wiped from my memory, like the instructions on the back of the package the second you throw it away. And in a flash, it all came rushing back. I remembered it all. I remembered everything. I'm a 90s kid. My head swelled with the intense knowledge of this bizarre Nickelodeon animated TV show. I could remember them all. They were right there, clear as day. Fanboy, Chum Chum, that wizard kid, the bear from the Cleveland show. And I knew I had to tell somebody about it. Not just anybody. I had to tell you. That's right. It's just you and me here. I've already locked the doors. I cut the phone lines. You're not going anywhere. Let's talk about Fanboy and Chum Chum. Fanboy and Chum Chum, the show, not the characters, focuses on Fanboy and Chum Chum, the characters, not the show. Daily experiences and misadventures, always trying to figure out some situation that they've either caused or entangled themselves in, right? They're looking for people to help, excuses to help, right? They're superheroes. And as we all know, with great power comes great responsibility. This tall glass of G Fuel is Fanboy, a fan of comic books, fantasy, science fiction, action figures, you name it. This guy's f***ing on the Reddit. Can I just say, I also like Star Wars, superheroes. I play video games, but you don't see me walking around making everybody call me Fanboy. Of course not. I'm a grown man. I make them call me Daddy. And of course, Fanboy and Chum Chum would not be Fanboy and Chum Chum without Fanboy's Chum Chum Chum. Aptly named because he's constantly chumming. Now these two little dudes, these little fellas, these little guys, my friends, these are my friends, Fanboy and Chum Chum. They're Fanboy and Chum Chum. The show I'm talking about. Get with the program. They're hyperactive, slow-witted best friends. And they're freaking bonkers. They're crazy dudes. As you can see, they're dressed like superheroes. They're freaks, right? They walk around society like normal people, but we know they're weird. We can all say that. Fanboy and Chum Chum both dress like superheroes as an homage to their hero, their biggest lover, their best friend, their favorite superhero, Antarctica, an ice-based superhero who kind of sounds like Adam West, like a bad Adam West impression for the most part. And he's also Santa Claus. And there's just one episode where he almost kills a kid.
I can't stand children crying. That's the only reason I give them all presents. I'd like to give them another, but I don't have any extras. Oh well, I'll just have to destroy him instead.
So, all in all, he could probably beat Goku, I think. Talk about the show's called Fanboy and Chum Chum. There's gotta be more than that. There's gotta be more than Fanboy and Chum Chum. What else is there? I'm already out of things to talk about with this show. Oh yeah, that's right. The other characters. Fanboy and Chum Chum has a wide cast of very memorable characters that not only populate the small town that Fanboy and Chum Chum are devoted to protecting, but also my current waking nightmares. This is Boog. He's that guy from my town who graduated high school, Never really left. Works at the gas station. Constantly abuses the local kids, physically and emotionally. Ugly Town's got him. Then we got Kyle.
From beyond the veil of this world comes one who is versed in ways of sorcery, traveler through the mystical realms of necromancy. Please tremble and give it up for Kyle, the Conjurer.
An insecure teen wizard who was expelled from his wizarding school after he turned his professor into a flan. Wacky! I don't even know, honestly. There's this funny bit that happens from time to time in the show where Fanboy and Chum Chum, like, they forget that Kyle can do magic.
Think of it before. I can use my wand to save us.
Kyle, you can do magic.
And every time is just, I think it's really funny, actually. Next up on your list of neighbors who have to introduce themselves when they move into a new town, we've got Janitor Poopatine. The janitor's just the Emperor from Star Wars. I don't even know what else to say. Sheev? Sheev, is that you?
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Brenda, it's not what it looks like.
And I was actually surprised to see how many of these episodes were just parodies of like movies and TV shows and other pop culture stuff. Like how is this allowed? Like, can I make up a show about two single ladies living in Seattle, but their landlord's Saruman from Lord of the Rings? Fellowship of the Ring, Return of the King, and Two Towers? In that order? He's up there using his wizard staff to clean out the gutters, right? He's got some Urukai working the front desk. The Ents are there, probably. Saruman comes up and knocking, trying to collect the rent, but they're inside holding a vegan hot dog eating contest, and they do not have a permit. And after last week's mini golf fiasco, Saruman's gonna evict them for sure. I don't know how they're gonna get out of this one. Well, I guess I have an idea. We also have a Dracula parody. There's a Dracula parody, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I already talked about one of the main characters is a Harry Potter parody. The bully sounds like John Travolta, and many, many, many more.
Put that cookie, put that cookie, put that cookie down.
There's countless references. I mean, I don't get most of them because I spend too much time outside, but I'm sure you know every single one of them. Go ahead and leave a comment down below about what's your favorite Fanboy and Chum Chum references. This is a kid's show, right? Like, I don't think there's any kids who are out there just gripping their juice box really tight, just frothing trying to see what Fanboy and Chum Chum's take on A Clockwork Orange was. No, of course not. That's the dumbest thing I've ever said. They're here for the jokes, the comedy, why we're all here, why God put me on this earth. We're here for comedy. Now let's see if this show has what it takes.
But I didn't pull it. Magic.
Without fail, I'd find myself getting into it, and then there'd be a fart joke, or Fanboy's eyes would explode, or Chum Chum would be jerking off and... I can't put that in this video. I'd find myself getting into the show, and then there'd be a fart joke, or some gross out body humor, or some screaming, and it's just like, it puts me off. But if you can get past that, this show's like unique brand of surreal humor. Honestly, it's pretty hard.
Fine.
He took my pig! After him!
A lot of the episodes kind of like a regular show type vibe with them, right? Where like something normal's happening, and then, you know, Rigby doesn't want to pay $5 for a sandwich, so then like 20 minutes later they're beatboxing the devil, right? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how this show works, right? It takes something mundane and it makes it fun-dane. In this episode, titled Brain Freeze, the boys' favorite slushy flavors discontinued. Sorry to all my Fanboy Chum Chum heads out there. Oh, sorry to all my chummers out there. That was a faux pas on my part. They're not slushies. They're frosty freezy freezes. The boys' The boys' favorite flavor of Frosty Freezy Freeze is discontinued, and they are set on bringing it back. The plan? Chase down Barry the Ice Monster, the small creature who lives inside of the Frosty Freeze machine at the Frosty Mart. I don't know why I didn't think of that first. So they do that. They chase down the living creature who creates the Frosty monster juice that they drink on a daily basis.
Barry, I need you to take the wheel.
What? No.
I'm gonna give these boys the pink slip.
I'll get us closer!
The boys then cause a massive fatal accident, resulting in the creation of the world's largest Frosty Freezy Freeze. Now, viewer, we're both on the same page here. What do you think happens next? That's right, the rest of the episode's a hangover parody, where the boys drink so much of this ginormous Frosty Freezy Freeze that their brain literally freezes solid. Oh yeah, right? And then they have to retrace their steps going through all the wacky times they had when they were completely blitzed on Frosty Freezy Freeze to try to track down their underwear. This episode ends on a big reveal. Down to their skin, Fanboy and Chum Chum have no choice but to reveal to the world that they actually have superpowers. They are for real superheroes. And now that the secret is out, I don't know what that means for the rest of the world. To you, to me, to Kyle, to all of Fanboy and Chum Chum's friends. Now that we know that they actually have superpowers, where is the show gonna go? I'll tell you where this goes. They make a joke about it and it's never brought up again.
You can't open a mayonnaise jar?
Well, the mayonnaise isn't posing an immediate threat, now is it?
That's Fanboy and Chum Chum. Roll credits. The simple premise of the show, I think, goes a long way. And its far out, nonsensical humor is honestly the reason that it stuck with me more than Planet Sheen or Attacking the Power of... What is this? Attacking the Power of... Which were both shows that came out around the same time and were... I often find when I'm talking to people about this show, I usually get one or two responses. I get like a, oh yeah, I remember that show. My parents hated it. Or Nickelodeon really went downhill after they got rid of Splat, right? SpongeBob has been funny since season 1. I think that Nickelodeon's been on its downfall since they canceled Rocko's Modern Life, right? Action League Now, right? Rocket Power. Nickelodeon hasn't been funny
Since the 90s. Nickelodeon wasn't funny since I was a child.
Yum. After 2 seasons, Fanboy and Chum Chum was canceled. I think it's a shame. You know, I think the show is finally starting to find its footing. Maybe give it a chance. It's not good, but it's not bad. And there really are some stellar jokes in the show. I promise the fart jokes die off around episode 10. And the animation, while a little rough around the edges, I honestly think holds up pretty well. And the animators clearly had fun with it. Even though the show is 3D animated, the characters and a lot of the concept art were originally designed in this nice 2D style, right? And I think that their 2D origins translates to the 3D. There's a lot of squashing and stretching going on here, and I love to see it. I think that there's a lot of fluidity and a lot of character, give or take the first couple episodes, that these animators are able to bring out, and it elevates it, escalates it, elevator, escalator, Cadillac, Eldorado. It elevates it past what a lot of the other 3D animated shows were like at the time, right? It doesn't have that stiff yuckiness. I think that if the show was 2D animated, it'd probably be more fondly remembered. That's just my opinion. But you can't trust me, because I'm also 2D. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this animation's bad. Heck, this show won an Emmy. It won a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Special Class Animated Program. Yeah, so I guess at the end of the day, Nickelodeon's probably pretty happy they chose Fanboy and Chum Chum over Adventure Time, am I right, fellas? What? Huh? What? Oh yeah, I'm working on a Mr. Meaty video, so if you're interested in that, subscribe. You know how to do that. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of Fanboy and Chum Chum below. I'm interested because, truthfully, I've been talking to my friends about this and not a lot of input from anybody. I don't think that any of my friends actually watch this show, and I'm just interested to see what people think. So if you have any Fanboy and Chum Chum questions, you can ask me. If you have any, if you want to talk about it, we can get a conversation going. I'll reply. I'll talk about Fanboy and Chum Chum all night. I'll talk about Fanboy and Chum Chum every single night of the week. We can talk about Dr. Acula. I love that Dr. Acula parody. That's pretty funny. I think it's pronounced Dr. Jekyll. Also, I always say Jekyll. I don't know if that's right. Well, time to hit the old dusty trail. I'll see you later. Actually, you get out. This is my house. Get out of my house. Go. This is me. Go.